Man, $99 for gas or diesel, and then this thing put us over the top.
Gary? Hey everybody, we're gonna do a quick video on the DJI Mini 2 drone of catch and release like a fish.
Alright, so a lot of you out there may be wondering, why in the world would anybody want to hand catch and hand launch their drone? I mean, is it stupid or is it dangerous? Well, probably. But you know me, I'm a rebel, a daredevil. If you do have a Mini 2, there's going to be those times that you're going to need to be able to do this. But you have to just remember to do it safely. Hand launching and catching your drone does a couple of things for you. It keeps you out of the bad terrain, plus it also keeps the wear and tear down from your motors and from the gimbal, because sand can wreak havoc on that stuff. We live in Florida and there's sand everywhere. And big disclaimer, this is all just our opinion. We're not experts at all. If you've seen our other videos, you probably already know that. All right, another thing that somebody might say is too, why don't you just get one of those landing pads that they sell on Amazon or the DJI store? And we actually do have one of those landing pads, but they're not applicable for every scenario. You know, so yeah, it definitely saves from getting dust and debris in your motors and your gimbal, but you don't always have a place to set it down. The biggest reason that I wanted to learn how to hand catch and hand launch the drone is because I fish from a kayak. I got cheeses. Go delicious. And there's absolutely no way that I'd be able to launch or land that drone in the middle of the kayak. There's just not enough room. It's barely enough room for all the fish I catch. Even though I'm just going to do a demonstration on how to hand launch and land the drone, I'm still going to do all the setup and wait for the satellites and things like that so we can fly safe. All right, so I've got everything all set up, ready to go. And this is the method that
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
She interrupted me just like Siri. So I know there's a lot of different methods out there that people use, but this is the approach that I like to use. This is my favorite way to do it. And I feel the most comfortable doing it this way. So I got the palm approach is what I like to call it. It's kind of like you're feeding a horse maybe a sugar cube or an apple or something. Make sure that you have the drone in the palm of your hand. Make sure that you keep your thumb tucked so it's away from those blades. And you just hold the drone straight out from your body like this. And then the controller, you got to control it with one hand. So I like to hold it up against my body, and I'll take the two sticks. And the way that you start the drone like this is you just pull the two sticks together, just like that. And that'll start the motors. All right, so now that the drone is running, all you got to do is pull up on the left stick right here. Just pull it straight up, and there it goes. The drone is now launched. So as you can tell, it's a little bit windy here today, but that's how you launch the drone, or that's how I like to launch the drone. If you launch the drone and there's some wind, make sure that the wind is to your back, because if you let the drone come up off your hand and the wind catches it and it's coming in your direction, the drone can come right at you, and that could be bad. Let me demonstrate how I like to do the landing. Now again, I said before, I fish from a kayak, and the only way to really do this for me is to have the drone facing me. So let me get the drone in a position that it's facing me. I like to have the drone just a little bit above my head. That way, if there is a gust of wind that blows, it's not going to put the drone in my face. All right, so I've got the drone right there, basically at eye level. I like to put my hand right behind the gimbal on the body of the drone. But you got to make sure that you stay away from the sensors in the back, because if you put your hand too close, jack will start to go up. Another thing that you don't want to do, you don't want to ever look away from the drone when you're doing this. But you see how he's moving with the wind? This probably isn't the safest time to be landing the drone in your hand. But we're going to give it a shot. So put your fingers behind the gimbal like you're catching a snake. Hold down on the stick, and that does activates the auto land feature. And that's all there is to it. It's that simple. Almost dropped Jack. Sorry, buddy. Another way that you can land the drone is all you got to do is hold your hand underneath it like this, and then pull down on the left stick, and the drone will land directly in the palm of your hand. But you got to make sure that your hand is flat and that you're under the drone. Again, that's not my favorite way of doing it because there's a chance that the drone can catch a gust of wind and it won't land in your hand, or it can actually hurt you. Once you get comfortable launching and landing the drone from your hand, there's one more way that you can launch that's kind of a secret, but it's a lot of fun. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're holding the drone with your fingers and your thumb. Make sure that you're below that halfway mark right there on the drone on both sides. That way you're definitely away from the propellers. Then you do the controller the same way. You hold it up against your body. You pinch the sticks.
Take off.
Then you throw it. And that's all there is to it. Wow, that was easy. I've never done that before. That was very, very easy. But I can see that there's definitely some danger with the wind. All right, another thing that you can do, if you say that you drop your controller in the boat and you have your hand on the drone, you can grab a hold of the drone like this, but make sure that you're away from those sensors. And then that's the auto shut off feature. So you could do that, turn it about 90 degrees and it'll shut itself off. I don't recommend doing that unless you really have to, because from what I've been told, that's really hard on the motors because the drone's really fighting as hard as it can to correct itself. And then once it realizes that there's no correcting itself, it just shuts itself off. But what do you guys think about this? Do you hand launch or land your drone? Let us know in the comments what you thought about the video, and if you have other techniques or suggestions or other tips and tricks. That secret way to launch is pretty cool. You got to admit that. All right, guys. God bless.